Home survival on a budget made easy. I really don't have an intro for this, so let's just go ahead and jump into the video. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. For those of you who don't know the whole backstory of this channel and how it started, about 4 years ago, a buddy I went to school with, I said we started going to school together right around the 7th grade. He had to go in for another surgery. He used to get these growths on his brain and on his spine. I'm not going to get into a lot of detail because that's really not the story. But he had to go in for another surgery, and I posted this thing on how to make alcohol stoves out of cans, and I didn't do videos yet, but I had pictures up on Facebook. And he asked me to take over his Suburban, at the time it was the Suburban Hippie Experimentalist Facebook page, while he was out, having the surgery and stuff. So I agreed to it. I did that for a couple of months, and one day he goes, "You want us to do YouTube videos?" Because he was doing those at the time, I think, for about 7 years. He goes, you got a certain personality people might actually watch. I actually just thought he lost his mind or something. But I said, sure, I'll give it a try. And it was just a simple video of 3 different ways to start a fire. So to make a long story short, sorry, we went out in the backyard and I started a fire, and he was like, wow, that was cool. And later that night, he put it up, and my first video went up Halloween. That's how I always remember my anniversary. It was on Halloween. Now, he used to, I did like 2 or 3 more videos, and he would download them and edit them and re-upload them. He was always there for me, giving me advice on what to do. He'd critique my videos for me, but he did like 3 of them, and I was dating this girl at this time, and she getting that lend me some cameras, but when we did that video, he used a GoPro on a gimbal, and he gave me this camera. It took me forever to figure it out, man. It was horrible. I was trying to edit with it. He's like, use the camera that I gave you. He also gave me like this little gimbal thing that really didn't work for me. But I spent a lot of time learning how to use a camera and how to edit with it. It took me a while, but I figured it out. And I remember back in school when I first met him, I think it was math class. And I was struggling, man. I struggled with math, especially like algebra and stuff, because I really didn't see no purpose in it. And I ended up just taking business courses. And he's like, man, you can do this. You can do this. I mean, his whole life, when he's seen people struggling, he'd actually encourage them. His motto was, be yourself. You can do it. And like I said, I struggled for a while, but he was, anytime I had a problem, an issue or a question, man, he was always there. And back to his health issues, he had like so many surgeries on his brain stem, but he always had a positive attitude. And one day I said, man, I feel sorry for you. He goes, don't feel sorry for me. He goes, it could have been you, just so happens to be me. Because I want to make the best of my life, enjoying what I have, and that he was getting close to 50, but he still had his boyish smile. Just give you that smile. You could be having a bad day, and he give you that smile and be like, "Hey, I know it's going to be all right." But he had such a great passion for for life, his wife. With that said, I want to give my condolences to his wife. He always spoke so highly of you. You know, he never had, usually, especially when a couple's together 10, 15, 20 years, you start seeing a little bitterness, but he never, ever spoke a bad word to you. I never heard him say anything bad about you. He was always very protective of you, very positive about everything you were doing in life. And with that said, if people stop and start wondering, did my life make a difference? Well, I want you to think back to this video. Think back, his name was Mark. You might know him as the suburban hippie experimentalist, the suburban hippie, the struggling man, the suburban photographer. He had a bunch of different YouTube channels, but I remember he telling him one day, I said, I hate watching my videos because of my voice. And he used to always get comments from people, usually they were nasty about his voice, the way he sounded. And it came from a surgery he had as a child. They messed up his voice spot, so it gave him his voice a little bit different. He goes, you think your voice annoys you? Well, how do you think I feel? He goes, there's nothing I can do about it. I just go with it. You know, he was always positive. You know, he would snap you back in line, let you have a little dose of reality without being mean or spiteful. So to his family and friends, when you look back on his life, don't feel bad for all the surgeries. Take it as something positive, because he was so much in love with life, with everything around him. He knew how to enjoy the world, enjoy life, take advantage of the time he had. You know, and if you ever ask yourself, did I make a difference? Did he make a difference? I know personally, me, I would not be where I am today. I would not be standing in Indiana with a YouTube channel with 6,000 plus subscribers, 980,000 views, if it wasn't for him. I can honestly say, when I look out my window and I see the landscape in front of me, and I think about being in Indiana, I owe that to him, you know. So I can honestly say he might not have changed the world, but at least he changed mine. So just remember, as you're going through life, to encourage people, have a positive attitude, enjoy life, because you really don't know how long you're here. And it may just start with giving somebody a camera and saying, you want to do a video?